So the folks that work on the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game sent me this, and even though I don't feel like I deserve it, I am going to talk about it because it's fucking cool. I certainly wasn't expecting this. I haven't even played the Kang book that they sent me, but this does get me inspired to roll some dice again, I gotta admit. Let's get into talking about the actual book. I got a lot to talk about. I'll try and keep it as spoiler-free as possible. Scheduling has been the bane of my existence when it comes to playing stuff like this, and I think this one-shot, the little thinness of it, will make it easier to get people to schedule. It should not be as tough as the whole Kang adventure is to schedule. It starts with like a bunch of actual comic book art, which I think is really clever and fun. The comic serves as just a jumping off point for the story. It introduces all the different characters that Deadpool is going to hire that people will play as during the one-shot. That does not mean that you're locked into those character profiles. If you want to make your own character profiles or use different character profiles, you have all the reign to do so. Just probably don't play someone that's in the story as an NPC. And in good Deadpool fashion, it has this really funny bit about picking characters because the writer thought that they were underused, which I just have to appreciate a good fourth wall break when it's used in such a creative way. This is the author on both the comic and most of the module itself. Cullen does a pretty good job here. He's got experience writing Deadpool in the past, as well as, you know, experience writing comic books in general. And I think it was a pretty good pick. I seriously laughed out loud genuinely at times when reading even just the module and not just the comic book. It's written pretty funnily. It's good stuff in here. There's this section in the book that I really like where the book specifically encourages you to play whoever you want, and I really appreciate that. I think that's important, especially to call out for new players who might not be comfortable doing that and want to stick to the script. I think it's important that they know that they don't really have to do that. The book has a lot of emphasis on the fact that this is your slice of the Marvel Multiverse and you should do with it what you want. The book leans into some fun tropes that I think you really have to do when you're basing a module off of a real intellectual property like this. Especially if you're trying to tell like a specific narrative, it's important to have things that people are already familiar with to lean on in order to tell that narrative with them. The book also explains what to do if your characters act in specific ways and how to handle it if they don't act in those specific ways so that you can avoid things going totally off the rails, which I think is a big plus for new narrators out there. And this is the most spoilers you're going to get out of this video. It has maps in it, and they're really awesome looking, and I can't wait to use them. They're for the module, of course, but I'm not limited to just use them for that. What can I say? I'm probably going to steal them. I also submitted for a digital copy of this book. It's a review copy that they sent me, but it also has this little blurb that you can get a Marvel Unlimited copy. If you submit it to them, they'll probably give it to you as long as you've bought the book, so make sure you keep that in mind. The process to get that is a little bit silly in my opinion. There's like a validation that has to go through, so I have to be patient. I don't have patience. What the fuck's up with that? But hopefully the digital copy will allow me to run it in a digital setting without having to buy the book again on like Roll20 or Demiplane or something like that. That'd be nice. And the book contains a bunch of different content and encounters that I think you could sprinkle into your own campaign if you so desired, but I definitely recommend running the one-shot as intended. It seems really well thought out. Now, unfortunately, I can't recommend you pick up this book without already owning the core rulebook because this is pretty thin, as you can tell, and it doesn't go over any of the rules, so without the rules, you'll be pretty fucking lost. There's this interesting section in the book where they go over how to handle character deaths, and they give you a couple of different options, and again, expressly state that it's your decision. It's up to you how you handle that at your table, which I think is really good. It really hammers home the point that this is about having fun at your table with your friends, and the rules are secondary. I love that. I've always loved that about this system. It really encourages you to take the world into your own hands. And this book has random tables in it. I won't show any of them because I don't really want to spoil anything for you guys. There's obviously different outcomes that can happen. There's different encounters that can happen in different areas, and I think those random tables are really usable outside of this one shot. I think stuff like this is super smart, and I hope they come out with just like a book of random tables, kind of like this Ben Egloff book for this system. I think that could be really fun. But having access to those random tables and the inspiration of those random tables to carry on into my future games, amazing. It's just amazing. What else can I say? It really is a well thought out module. It has all the stat blocks, all the character profiles, all the maps, anything you could ever need to get through the module is in there, except for, of course, the rules. And I think it's important to acknowledge that those random tables improve the replayability of it for a narrator so that you could run that same module with different groups and have different outcomes. That's pretty cool to me. And finally, I do have to hand it to them for scheduling the release of this around the same time as the Deadpool movie and having that X-Men book on the shelves at the same time as the X-Men shows doing really well on Disney+. I hope we continue to see this cross-branding promotion of Marvel Multiverse RPG stuff and MCU and maybe even Marvel Comics stuff that's releasing. I think that's just the right way to go about doing stuff like that. Chef's kiss. Like and subscribe if you think I should live stream me playing the module on this YouTube channel. And unfortunately, that's all I can really say until I've played the thing, so I better go out and get my group scheduled. And even if we don't end up live streaming the module itself, maybe I'll make a follow-up video after I've played it so that I can tell you guys how I actually feel, getting my hands on some actual dice and all that good stuff. So subscribe if you you want to be notified when that comes out. Now, I wanted to take this time at the outro to just apologize for being missing for so long. I was going through some shit. Life happens, you know. There's not much that you can do about that, so just rolling with the punches. Excited to be back, making some content. I hope you guys are half as excited as me, because there's no way you're as excited as me. It's my fucking YouTube channel, and I deserve full excitement, not you.